least we can blame everything on the heat, right? Everything.
We have to. We have to. You know, yesterday we were talking about what it's like to be in this incredible heat and how we're reacting to it. What we are doing is basically arguing about 24 hours a day, which is working for us.
It's not really arguing, it's just kind of snipping.
No, actually, it seems like there's something subterranean, just beneath the surface. You think you're okay. Like I thought I was okay this morning, and all of a sudden I got a problem for no reason.
All of a sudden I'm standing in the kitchen, you come tearing down.
I am embarrassed. I felt bad about that.
Good. Everybody's yelling at me this morning.
No, well, it's...
David's hysterical. He's crying.
I don't know.
You come in yelling about your shoes are lost.
I wasn't yelling.
How am I supposed to know where your shoes are? They were under the bed.
Wait a minute, because you're the one that put them in the closet. How about this? You had...
Wait,
your shoes,
if I put them in the closet, why were they under the bed?
An excellent question. The thing is, I like to kind of lay, you know how you like your shoes organized sometimes?
Them up against
so
the
I line
wall.
them up against the wall. So, you can see every one of them. There's like, about 6 pairs of shoes. They're right there, no
big choice every morning. I can understand that, sure.
Well, that's important. So I come in today like there's no shoes, right? Because Sharon had taken them all and shoved them in the closet, like in this little hamper kind of thing. And so, I couldn't find them. Now, that doesn't mean that I should be upset about it. It's a ridiculous thing to be upset about. It was the heat.
Especially since they were under the bed and they weren't in the closet.
How did they get there, I wonder?
Here's the really bad news.
How did they get there, do you know?
Well, I think you must have put them there. Yeah.
I put them there?
Yeah, you probably took them off, and then they kind of got shoved under the bed. I put them there? I'm going to say, here, let's put Steve's shoes under the bed.
Aren't you wondering why she put my shoes under the bed? I'm wondering.
No, the really bad news is this heat is supposed to last through Friday.
See, that's the worst news I've ever heard.
Can you imagine?
And you can't even go north.
The rest of the
like
month, don't tell me that.
The rest of the month. Well, what are we going to do? Let's just close the state. No, but it's over the whole country is like this. We can't blame it on where we live because the whole country is broiling, right?
Well,
so we should change our attitudes.
Dangerous. That's dangerous.
I mean, we should change our
what are we going to do
attitude.
by the end of this?
Some of the weather guys come on and say, hey, well, everything's okay. It's 95,000 degrees.
Yeah.
So, like if you change your attitude, maybe it's, I don't know.
You think so? They've got a good attitude about it?
I don't know. Well, yeah. Because, if they kept coming on and saying, oh, are we in bad shape? You'd feel bad. So.
Anyway, shall we move on? We do have to get on with life, I guess, despite the heat.
Yeah.
Okay, Bob Hope was in town just a few weeks ago, and we had a chance to talk to him. I got a chance to sit down and talk to him during a rehearsal while he was here for Kurt Carlson's 50th anniversary, and we're going to find out what it's like for Bob Hope to be 85.
And in this heat, we thought it would be fun to find out where you can get the best and most unusual ice cream in the Twin Cities. We have some surprises for you.
We're going to take you to a new restaurant in Bloomington that is very popular already. It's called the Olive Garden. It's a family Italian restaurant.
And that man is going to show us some amazing facts like why putting salt in a warm beer will make it fizz.
And I'm Mike Brunswick in Nashville with Tammy and her mom. We're sitting in front of the grand old Opry House. Somehow I got involved in Tammy's dream. It's a dream come true. Better pinch yourself and see if you're awake. She's awake. We'll tell you more about it later in the show.
And I am at the Epcot Center in Orlando, Florida, part of the Walt Disney World complex, and we're here to show you their absolute newest attraction. You can get a little taste of it over my shoulder. I'll give you a hint. They've managed to bring a little bit of Norway to Florida. Back later in the show to tell you all about it.
Sounds good, Gary. Oh, that's just ahead on Good Company.
From the Twin Cities, it's Good Company. With your hosts, Steve Edelman and Sharon Anderson. Field host Gary Lumpkin. And People reporter Mike Brunswick. And now, your hosts, the husband and wife team, Steve and Sharon.
All right, I'll say it.
No, you don't have to
I will, I'll say it.
You don't have to pass that. Thank you.
All right, Steve gently reminded me that I bit his head off last night. All right, so you're not the bad guy. I'm also the bad girl.
No,
the bad woman.
No, you didn't actually bite my head off. I just was...
Never mind.
Kind of amorous, and you were angry. For no reason.
Let's do it. Yes. Anyway.
Yes.
Bob
Sharon
Hope...
said she also found other things under the bed, and I'm wondering what you found.
More shoes.
Oh, more shoes?
Yeah.
Because I've been missing underwear for quite some time, I think.
Oh, that's not maybe it was... underwear. No, No, don't look for
Nothing else
the
under
shoes
there.
are under there. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Bob Hope was in town. Kurt Carlson celebrated his 50th anniversary, you know, in business, and he brought in a man who was celebrating, well, over 60 years in his business, and that is Bob Hope, who has been in show business over 60 years. The man is 85. Can you believe it? 85 years old, Bob Hope, and he is still traveling thousands of miles every year. He loves to entertain. Well, he was in town. He did entertain at the Kurt Carlson celebration, and he is entertaining all over the place. I had a chance to sit down and talk to him, which we're going to see in just a few moments. But first of all, let's take a look at Bob Hope doing what he loves to do, and that's make people laugh.
Sir, 38 years ago, little Gary Hart was being made to sit at the table until he finished his dinner, and his mother said, "Someday you might like rice." I want to thank the Watergate Committee for making room for me. Just shows there's nothing one bunch of comedians won't do for another. There'll be 25 crime shows on the air. It's terrible. Last night I tried to change channels and almost got killed in the crossfire. No, 25 years, that's pretty good in the medium where they measure your career with an egg timer. No, the network executives all want to do well this year. They know their jobs are hanging by a cable.
Well, that's just a glimpse at why Bob Hope has been known as the international king of comedy after over 60 years in show business. Although known as America's most visible patriot, he was actually born in England over 85 years ago and has gone on to become the star of vaudeville, Broadway, radio, TV, and movies. In fact, he's been in over 60 movies. Here he is singing and dancing with Bing Crosby in The Road to Utopia.
He's only happy-go-lucky till the lights are turned down, then he's the lonesomest man in town.
He's also experienced success in 54 years of marriage and in golfing with 50 years of experience. And as far as I can see, he shows no signs of letting up.
How is it working for 50 years?
Oh, I love it. There's nothing like being around laughs. You know that. I mean, when you're... And that's the greatest thing in the world. I think that's what keeps George Burns going.
And he says it's humor and the laughter of audiences that keeps him feeling young. Here he is about 2 weeks ago here in the Twin Cities for Kurt Carlson's 50th anniversary extravaganza.
Is this a glorious night, huh? Isn't this beautiful? This is sort of Minneapolis's answer to the Democratic Convention.
Well, at that point, I couldn't resist asking about the Democratic Convention.
What did you think of the Democratic Convention?
When I first saw the name Dukakis, I thought some scientists had found a cure for it or something.
I'm told that even with an audience of 2, he's never serious. Well, I found that out.
You seem to always have your material totally up to date. Tell us a joke that's very now.
I know this joke about the 90-year-old man that had AIDS, one in each ear.
Something else Bob Hope's been perfecting for the last 50 years is golf. He loves it and usually takes his clubs with him when traveling. There's even a golf cart named the Hope Mobile.
Have you ever played golf here?
Oh, played a lot of golf here. Oh, sure. Played Somerset.
Sure enough, here he is playing golf in Mendota Heights several years ago. He also has fond memories of coming to Minneapolis for the Aquatennial.
Well, it was so exciting. You know, they had that big parade.
Yeah.
And then they had dinners after dinners. Went to all the places, Charlie's, and stayed up all night. Cedric Adams on the boat.
Bob Hope is known as the best friend to servicemen because he's spent his holidays with them overseas.
We have seen you go off and do the USO shows for years, over Christmases and holidays. What is it that you got out of doing those?
We've had tremendous times out of that. It's been, the gratification has been amazing, you know,
Yeah.
to do it. It's the most exciting part of my life.
Is it really?
Oh, absolutely. And everything's going up at home, prices, taxes, and miniskirts. Miniskirts are bigger than ever. Even some of the fellas are wearing them. Don't laugh. If you'd have thought of it, you wouldn't be here.
Can you remember a specific time when you felt you were really touching lives doing those?
There's so many. When Kennedy gave me a medal in the White House, he said, "I sat in the rain and watched you in Wendy Island, down in the South Pacific. That's where the PT boats were." You know, I said, "Really?" And today, somebody walked up to me, a young fellow with this group here, and said, "I want to thank you. I was in Alaska when it came up to Anchorage." Some fellow's working on the show here, and it happens all the time, every day. But it was always a happy event.
Wherever he goes, he brings his sense of humor and a golf club. Here he arrives at the front lines in Vietnam. He jokes about the fact that there are no courses in Vietnam because the holes are too big. Bob Hope has been friends to presidents, and I was interested in his insights.
You've known president after president. You've been friends to many presidents. Who was the funniest of them?
I think Jack Kennedy, liked jokes better than anybody.
Really?
Every time I was in Washington, he'd invite me over. Pierre Salinger would say, the boss wants to see you, and I'd go over to the White House and tell jokes with him.
Not only has Bob Hope's popularity lasted over the years, but so has his marriage. He met Dolores when she was a nightclub singer in New York, and it was love at first sight.
What do you think she likes best about you after all these years?
I think she likes best about me, I think, the traveling. Because I think she likes to travel with me. And she sings at all the shows.
What about you is very hard to live with?
Oh, I think the fact that I do so much work at night. See, I play golf in the day, so I work at night. And I work so late, and she doesn't like that. But when she sees the show, she understands it all.
So after 60 years in show business, he's been named one of the 10 most admired men this century, appealing to adults and teens in 4 generations. And he says that laughter and having fun has a measurable effect on how long we live. So while celebrating with Kurt Carlson recently, Bob Hope continues to have fun and make people laugh.
Thank you very much.
Well, we thought since it's so hot out, it would be fun to take a look at the best and the most unusual ice cream in the Twin Cities. And we have some suggestions for you. Now, we sent a researcher out, Steve Kaplan, who generally does the best of for Minneapolis-St. Paul magazine. He went all over the place in the Twin Cities to try to find the best ice cream. And he came up with the best ice cream being Sonny's ice cream. He decided Sonny's is it. Now, Sonny's ice cream, we've had members of our audience here taste it. Why doesn't this whole row stand up? You guys stand up? And you guys stand up right here? Okay, right now. Okay, here you go. Now, what do you think of the ice cream?
Excellent.
Really? You have the Spumoni, right?
Very good.
What do you
Yes.
think?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
Really? I mean, all right. What did you guys think?
I love it.
Love it? Okay, you guys have the banana. What's it like?
It tastes like fresh bananas.
Yeah, fresh. That's the thing. See, they make it here, and because it's made locally and it's available the next day, they say that Sonny's ice cream is much fresher than any other ice cream you can get around the Twin Cities. Sharon, what do you have back there?
Well, I have people eating Sonny's strawberry. What do you think?
It's delicious. It's really fresh. You can even see a piece of the stem of the strawberry.
There's a stem in there. They really do.
It's the real thing.
You don't work for Sonny's?
No.
No. What do you all think? Better than any other strawberry you've had?
Very good. It's got nice chunks of strawberry in it. It's really very good.
What do you think? Stand up, you're saying back here. We got somebody with banana back here. This is banana. What do you think?
Banana, it's really good. It has like chunks of banana and it's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Different from other bananas?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, it's fresh tasting.
Okay. Nobody says no, huh? Everybody says it's really wonderful? Sonny's ice cream. Thank you.
So there you go. Sonny's ice cream is available, by the way, at both Byerly's and Lund's. It's made here in the Twin Cities. They say it's fresh, and that's the reason it is so different. You might give it a try. Sonny's, I think, available by the pint. And now we decided to go out and find what is the most unusual ice cream in the Twin Cities. And there are some types of ice cream you won't believe are available. Watch. Jack's Decorated Ice Cream is located on Rice Street in St. Paul. Now, Jack sells homemade ice cream creations for special occasions like weddings and parties. In addition to the standard flavors, you can come to Jack with ideas that you've dreamed of, like Campari sherbet or mango and kiwi sherbet. Jack has even made garlic crunch and Roquefort sherbet ice cream at the request of a customer. The ice cream pies at Jack's are also popular. This is his chocolate Irish cream, and here's chocolate turtle pie. Now, since most of Jack's business is made to order ice cream, this is not a place that you'd want to come for an ice cream parlor atmosphere. But if you have an idea for a totally unique flavor of ice cream, or you want specially decorated ice cream for a party or wedding, Jack's is a great place to try.
Bressler's 33 Flavors ice cream stand is in the Signal Hills Shopping Mall in St. Paul. And as the name promises, Bressler's carries 33 flavors, many of which you've probably tried before. But Bressler's specializes in ice cream flavors you may not have tried, like this one, Fuzzy Navel, which is orange ice cream with peach schnapps. Some others are Kahlua Caramel Praline and Coconut Amaretto. ice creams that mimic the taste of popular drinks. Well, we talked to some customers who seem to really enjoy them.
There's an amaretto, kind of a liqueur one. I like that. It's refreshing.
My favorite flavor is probably Fuzzy Navel because I just like peaches and tastes good.
Well, the rum cherry is good, and it has a little bit of rum mixed in with some nice sweet cherries, and it's a cherry base, so it tastes like a drink. It's excellent.
So if you like to indulge in unusual ice cream flavors, try the special liqueur flavors at Bressler's.
And finally, we heard that the Grand Old Creamery, also in St. Paul, has some unique homemade ice cream flavors. They're known for their homemade waffle cones and their interesting ice creams. Like this, chocolate, malt, banana, peanut, all in one. And here is Butterfinger ice cream. And if you like marshmallow, how about s'more flavored ice cream? Each month, Grand Old Creamery comes up with a new flavor, so customers will never get bored. We talked to a few of them.
Usually I get the chocolate and cinnamon shake mixed together. You can mix any shakes together that you like, and I like the chocolate and cinnamon. That's my favorite.
Pralines and cream, because I think it's the best of the Twin Cities. It is. And they also make mint and cookie. It's very good.
Chocolate chip. It's got the best chocolate little chips in the world. It's great. Best ice cream.
So for uncommon homemade flavor, give Grand Old Creamery a try. All right, so now we have some unusual ice cream. We have some of the samples of these things. We have our audience try here, and you have one.
Garlic ice cream.
Where's that from?
Jack's.
What'd you think?
It's good. I wouldn't believe it. I like garlic, so it's okay. A little pepperoni would help.
What do you have?
Grand Old malt peanut butter.
Oh, what do you think?
It's delicious.
Ooh, you like it?
I love peanut butter.
All right, you have.
I have the garlic.
Yeah.
I love garlic in my stuffed cabbage, but not in ice cream.
Okay.
I have the Fuzzy Navel from Bressler's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. It's got the fresh fruit in there.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Fuzzy Navel.
Fuzzy Navel. But it doesn't taste like the drink.
Okay. Great. Sharon, what do you have up there?
We have some other ice creams from the Grand Old Dairy, and this is what?
Well, I've been trying to figure it out exactly. It's it seems to be chocolate, malt, banana, nut.
That's a lot of flavors together.
Yeah, well, it's okay, but it's like I was spending more time trying to figure it out than tasting it.
Maybe that's the same thing. I'm not sure. What did you have?
I had apple cinnamon.
What do you think?
It was okay.
Okay. Apple pie, I think is what they call it.
It tastes like apple cinnamon, but not like pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the apples and the cinnamon combined in the pie or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't taste like pie.
No. Okay, thank you. So there are all kinds of different ice cream flavors out there and all kinds of different ice cream that you can try this summer to cool down a bit. We have some super bargains that are still in effect today. This is the last day for these if you're in the market for a car wash, for a swimsuit, or for some barbecued chicken that you can eat in or take out. Watch your screen right now. Take advantage of these, the last day for these super bargains. We'll be right back. Watching our show yesterday, you saw Mike Brunswick fill us in on the story of Tammy Skelton. She is that little 6-year-old girl from St. Paul who has a cancerous brain tumor. Well, Tammy had a wish that she would really love to go to Nashville, so the Make-A-Wish Foundation was able to make that wish come true. Mike Brunswick went along and found out that he was part of a very exciting moment for this little 6-year-old.
Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee, home of the biggest names in country music and entertainment. A place where the dreams of unknowns became the reality of legends.
Baby Billy Goat.
For a little girl of 6, it is also a city of dreams in another way. Tammy Skelton may survive her cancerous tumor on the brain, but until something is discovered to help her, her prognosis is terminal. So the Make-A-Wish Foundation brought her to the city her grandma and grandpa talk about so often, her dream city. Nashville. Nashville is the kind of city where a lot of dreams come true. There's no reason why Tammy's shouldn't come true, right, Tammy? Right. Let the dream begin.
Live from Music City, USA, it's Nashville Now!
Nashville Now is the heart of the Nashville Network, a cable network that has taken the country by storm. It's seen in 40 million homes. 6-year-old Tammy Skelton watches it in her Minnesota home every night. On this night, she was on it. Her wish was beginning to unfold.
You want to say hi to Shotgun Red? Yeah. Red, this is Tammy.
Is that Tammy from Minnesota, Ralph?
Yes.
I know her.
Hi, Shotgun.
Tammy will spend the next few days in the fantasy world of Nashville, including this fantasy land, Opryland Amusement Park. Fast rides, slow rides, high rides, low rides. Even a 6-year-old's energy is easily drained. A few hours nap, and she'll be good as new. "6:30 p.m., just 30 minutes before Nashville Now hits the air. Tammy is standing outside at the backstage entrance waiting to see her friend Minnie Pearl. When Minnie arrives, Tammy proudly announces she has her famous price tag. Minnie had given it to her the day before.
Oh, you know, I forgot to get another one. I haven't got one today. I gave you mine.
The meeting ends with a kiss. Tammy would be getting a lot of kisses this trip, not only from Minnie Pearl, but from Bill Anderson.
Get a hug? Oh, I love it.
And Porter Wagoner.
You mighty good looking, I ain't kidding you now. Good to see you. You give me a kiss, Sarah? All right, now.
Jeannie Seeley demonstrates the walking abilities of her 3-legged dog.
What's he doing?
All of this is happening backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. So while the music played on stage, Tammy is stealing the show backstage.
Spinning it.
Who's doing it? Who's doing it?
I don't know.
This is a day to remember.
Even if I do lose her, you think about Nashville, you think about how much fun she had, because she has had such a good time here.
But nothing will ever compare to what happened on stage at the Grand Ole Opry when Minnie Pearl arrived. She couldn't have been there more than a minute when she started asking for Tammy.
There she is, bless her heart. Hi, Tammy. Come here, darling. Put her up here.
Tammy and I were up front, so I lifted her on stage.
There you are. Can you say hi to this crowd?
Howdy.
From that point on, it was Tammy's show.
What is it you say to me? What's the joke you said to me? Did you say a knock knock?
Yes.
Say it. Say it.
Knock-knock.
Who's that?
Orange.
Orange who?
Orange and red and whipped banana.
I better watch.
As Tammy turned and realized the audience was loving her, her eyes must have been visible from the back row.
Our Mike Brunswick and Mike Durant, who has shot that story, do a beautiful job, don't they?
Yeah.
This is great.
Really.
Really good.
Beautiful story.
The story of little Tammy. It is time for our restaurant review. We're going to go to a new restaurant on the 494 Strip. Now, you might have known Victoria Station, which is down just off of intersection of France Avenue and 494 in Bloomington. Well, Victoria Station is dead, and what is new is this restaurant, which is called the Olive Garden. It's a new Italian restaurant, and it is so popular that ever since it opened, which was about 1 month ago, they have had 45-minute waits at lunch and dinner. I mean, people are just going in droves to this place. Now, there's a big parking lot outside. It's a very convenient suburban restaurant. And when you go in, you see what they're going for, which is they call kind of an Italian garden setting.
It's a family Italian restaurant, as Steve said. It's owned by General Mills, and they have been all over the country. They started in Orlando. They have many of these in Ohio, but this is their first one in Minnesota, and it is a hit, as you can see. It is a very open space. It seats a lot of people, over 300 people, and they do have a kind of an Italian decor. They have some murals on the wall like this. They have some umbrellas on the tables that feel like an Italian courtyard, and then lots of skylights. So it is a bright open space. The tables are nicely spaced, even though they do have room for a lot of people. You don't feel crowded in there.
Now, the menu features various regional foods from both northern and southern Italy. We're looking there, and what it says is you can get those breadsticks and salad complimentary with the entrees. And
all you can eat.
All you can eat, which is really nice. And also, you can get a soup salad combination for only $5. So they pointed that out as a combination that would be among the least expensive things you can buy. That is a soup salad combination.
There's their gazpacho, which is $2.50. They're cold Italian soup, and they also have several other soups that were just delicious for around $2.50.
Now, there's what they call the tour of Italy. If you'd like to try a number of different things, it include a grilled chicken parmesan, a fettuccine alfredo, and lasagna. When you put that together with the salad and the breadsticks, we are talking a huge.
Yes.
Huge, and the salad is bottomless. You can keep getting more and more and more. It's great.
At lunch, you can get spaghetti with meatballs for $4.25. It's a bit more expensive at $6.50 at dinner, but that still is a really good deal for the size of the portions that you get. All the pastas are made here on the premises daily. They do make their own homemade pastas, and they have all different kinds, from ziti to spaghetti to ravioli, lasagna, the basics, as well as a little more exotic, including manicotti.
So we asked some people what they thought of the Olive Garden, and this is what they had to say.
It has good flavor. It's not bland. Good variety of food.
I'd probably tell them that it's a really neat environment, and their food and spaghetti is excellent. That's what I had today. And the service is great. I was really impressed.
So there it is, the Olive Garden restaurant, brand new. If you like Italian, you might give it a try. It's a very nice place. I think it's a very comfortable place. If you're there with a child, family atmosphere is fine, but there were people, some tremendous range in age at the restaurant. We have a 4-point rating system, 4 being the best and 1 being the worst, and we start out with food. And for food, now this might come as a surprise because we've been raving about it. For food, I gave it 2.5. I'll tell you what, we went there twice. Some things were really good. I mean, I like their soup, and their salad was good. Their dessert was good. Some of the other things were just okay. And one night, the fettuccine alfredo was good, and another night it was just so-so. So I think they need some fine-tuning there, about 2.5.
I gave it a 2.5 also. The food is between fair and good. As Steve said, some things were very good. I thought the fettuccine was a lot better last night. I had a problem with their tomato sauce. I just didn't like their tomato sauce. It's very garlicky, and it also was a little acid to me. So anything that I had with tomato sauce on it, I just didn't think was that great. They had a heavy sauce on the veal that was a heavy lemon sauce.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
lemon
think was
sauce,
very
that
good.
veal piccata had a very heavy lemon sauce. They have the right idea, it just needs a little, you know.
And the pastas were also quite well cooked, so they were kind of sticky. You know, they weren't like al dente. Although some things they did very well. I liked the soup. I thought the salad was terrific. The breadsticks were good. The appetizers were a little too breaded for me. So I think from the first time we went to the second time we went, I think we liked the food better. So I think they're still working on it.
Yeah, at first we thought it was going to be too bland. But, you know, we might be in the minority here because people were raving about it.
Yeah,
raving about it. You know, we came in the door and they said, "Isn't this great?" And we're saying, yeah. So, you know, it's like, it's up to you. This is just what we thought about.
And it's certainly not gourmet Italian food.
No.
I mean, this is basic family Italian food.
I mean, what you're getting is a huge portion as well, which goes a long way. Now, prices, medium. You saw the prices that we were quoting there. And for value, I gave it 3. 3 because you really do get a huge, you know, you get the bottomless salad, you can get a bottomless drink, so if you have a Coke, you can just get more and more Coke, and the breadsticks, you know, beat the band. I mean, you can go on forever.
You can eat a lot at this restaurant. I gave it a 3 also for the same reasons. The portions are huge, and with most of the entrees, you get that complimentary salad. You also get a side of pasta or vegetable, so you get a lot of food for your money.
And for service, I gave it a 4, and the reason is because they have a very clear philosophy. The moment you walk in the door, I will bet somebody will look at you and smile and say, welcome to the Olive Garden, and they're very gracious, and the waiter was very nice. You will wait, probably, but at least, you know, you'll be treated very nicely.
I gave it a 3.5 just because of the wait. You know, I'd give it a 4 because people are very, very nice, and there are a lot of them waiting on you and doing their best. They do a good job, but you do have to wait. It's a long time.
Yes, and there are no reservations, by the way.
Yeah.
And so we went there twice. We went there like last night, Monday night, 45-minute wait. Can you
imagine?
believe it?
Well, I think it's air conditioned.
Well,
Please,
that's true.
you know.
So we stayed there from 7 o'clock to about midnight.
Midnight, yeah.
But anyway, there it is. It's new. It's called the Olive Garden. It is very popular in Bloomington. You might want to give it a try. Right there.
Disney World is always changing lately. They're adding something or changing something. And Gary Lumpkin went down just last week because they had the opening for a new part of Disney World, which was celebrating Mickey's birthday. Mickey is 60 years old, Mickey Mouse. And also, there's a new addition to the Epcot Center. If you haven't been down there, Epcot Center contains a lot of different countries, representations from a lot of different countries. And they've just added a new world, and that is Norway. So today, Gary is going to introduce us to what Norway looks like in Orlando, Florida. Gary?
This is Epcot Center, part of the always growing Walt Disney World complex in Orlando, Florida, where just about every year the folks at Disney come up with something new and different for their guests. And this year that new attraction is a village that showcases the country of Norway.
Well, hi everybody, that's right. We are here at the Epcot Center in Florida, along with a lot of other folks, to see exactly what this newest attraction is all about. It is the 11th country as a part of Epcot Center's World Showcase, and of course that country being Norway, ought to have a lot of special interest for folks from our area. I mean, there are so many folks in Minnesota with a Scandinavian heritage that this is a must-see, right? Oofda!
Now, if you've never been to Epcot Center before, let me explain that a section of Epcot is dedicated to various countries from around the world, and they call that the World Showcase. Well, the newest country exhibit is Norway, and what it does is offers us a taste of that country's present and past. Norwegian students spend the 6 months working here, dressed in authentic costumes, entertaining guests with Norwegian music, and to answer questions about Norway and the exhibit here at Epcot.
This is not a typical street in Norway. It's more like different buildings from different part of the country put together.
Yes, it gives one a nice feel for what Norway must be like, and it's a great place to shop.
But before we go shopping, I'm just reminded of that old Norwegian custom, never shop on an empty stomach. Lucky I remembered that because I've just come from the bakery and they have this Norwegian pastry. It's kind of a sweet pretzel with the almonds and icing and stuff. It's called a kringle, and it's just, good.
Nej, kringle.
Kringle?
Yeah, kringle.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Kringle, whatever you call it. Good. Authentic Norway stuff. Good.
And there's lots of other authentic Norway stuff inside the shops. Things like beautiful brass, delicate glassware, china and porcelain, and even some of the legendary Norwegian trolls. Now these guys have got to be the cutest, ugly creatures around. And of course, no Norwegian shop would be complete without some fur coats and heavy sweaters.
Yes, a lot of good bargains and good things to buy, but I know it's going to get cold in Minnesota before long, so I came over here to the sweater department, and then I found what I really liked. This hat. I mean, I hate it when my ears get cold in the winter. You know what else I hate? I also hate it when my toes get cold. So I bought these. I think they're just darling.
And of course, all that shopping would give anyone an appetite. Now, we already showed you one place to curb those stomach pains, and here's another. It's inside this replica of the 14th century Akershus Castle, which guards Oslo Harbor. Now, the castle houses an elegant 200-seat restaurant patterned after King Olav's Hall in Oslo Castle. Now, across the courtyard is this authentic Norwegian church, another handsome reminder of Norway's ancient past. Inside, 1,000-year-old Viking-era artifacts are displayed. Now, I probably shouldn't be doing this on a full stomach, but here I go, onto the only thrill ride in Epcot Center's World Showcase. It's called the Maelstrom, and it's an exciting high-seas adventure. The ride features 16 passenger boats traveling along a misty river and into a picturesque Nordic village. Now, the peaceful scene is suddenly interrupted by a legendary three-headed troll. And then, further along the route, travelers view some great northern wildlife before being thrust quickly into a raging North Sea storm. The destination is a quiet coastal fishing village where visitors step off the ship and into a theater to see Norway, a film that captures the beauty and strength of Norway and Norwegians.
Our spirit lives in daring. It lives in our traditions.
It's a spectacular film and a great ending to a great ride.
Whoa, the Maelstrom. Telling a little bit of Viking history, Norwegian legend, and bringing you right up to the modern day in the way that, well, only Disney can do it. There you have it, Norway, the newest attraction here at Epcot, and I think I said oofda at the beginning. It's a double oofda. No, the only problem is now whether to get back in line with these folks and ride the Maelstrom again or to go have some more Norwegian pastry. Pastry, then ride. That's it. See you next time.
We are about to learn some fascinating facts about things that you probably wondered about but don't have the answer to. For example, do you know why there are dimples on a golf ball? Got any idea why? I don't know, but our next guest knows. He is Ira Flatow. You probably know him as the host of Public Broadcasting's Newton's Apple. Well, Ira has been kind of moonlighting by writing a book about all these wonderful little facts. It's called Rainbows, Curveballs, and Other Wonders of the Natural World Explained. Ira, welcome.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Why does a golf ball have dimples?
Yeah.
It's to make it fly. I once hit a golf ball without dimples. It went maybe 100 yards.
You're kidding.
I'm a little better golfer than that, but it only went 100 yards.
You mean it kind of sails somehow because of dimples?
The dimples act like the wing on an airplane. When you hit a golf ball, you know, the idea is to hit behind it and put a backspin on it.
Okay.
So you get the ball going in the reverse direction. And the golf ball dimples suck air around the ball. They scoop air in the little dimples around the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that creates greater pressure underneath the ball than on top of the ball.
Like a wing of an airplane.
Exactly, and it just lifts it up, and that's why you can see them start out real low and then they start flying up high.
I didn't know that.
They didn't always have dimples on golf balls, and they discovered about 100 years ago that the more they used the golf ball without dimples, the more nicks and cuts it got, the better it flew. So in 1905, Spalding put the dimples on the golf ball, and they've been there ever since.
How darn. Now, you brought a microwave along here because there is a myth about metal and microwaves?
Yeah, I talk about this in my book, a lot of the myths about cooking. One of them is that you should never put anything made out of metal in a microwave, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to put a metal. Don't laugh at this. A metal dish in a microwave.
I mean, this is like the ultimate no-no.
I have a little bit of water in there. That's important to have some food or water in there.
You mind if I step over here?
And you start it. The microwaves will not penetrate the metal, so it's not a great idea. But you're not going to really ruin anything as long as you give the microwave some place to go. And in this case, I put a little bit of water. Now, you might have some food in there, or a bread, or turkey, or something in a metal dish.
Well, what does the water do?
The water absorbs the microwaves. They like water, so they go into the microwave. They go into the water instead of ruining the microwave oven.
I've seen these things where you have a microwave, and if you turn it on with metal, it's got sparks.
I'm going to show you how that happens. The thing you don't want to put in is this twist tie, because a twist tie is a very narrow piece of metal inside here. You know, you tie a loaf of bread up with this.
Yeah.
What people will do is they'll take the twist tie, they'll put it on take this glass of water out here. They'll put it on a loaf of bread, they'll put the bread in the freezer, put the twist tie back in, and then they'll start the microwave oven. And what happens is that it catches on fire like that.
Now, why did that catch on fire and the other one didn't have a problem?
Because this is the special properties of a metal rod. The microwaves like the points on on the metal rod here. In fact, that's why they have glass on front of a microwave oven. It's not to keep in the microwaves. There's a metal mesh behind the glass. The glass is to keep kids from sticking hairpins and things into it and sparking like this.
Oh.
Because the metal's not going to get out.
Well, you know, but I'm not comfortable with this. You're telling us we can put in metal pans like that if we have food in them.
Right, but don't put sharp pointy objects like balled up rolls of heavy-duty aluminum foil that have sharp pointy objects on.
You must be right, because you get huge lawsuits if you're wrong.
What you can do with and take advantage of this is you can use some aluminum foil to bounce the microwaves off. If you're cooking a chicken or a turkey or you have wings or drumsticks, the microwaves like the bones. They will cook the bones first before they cook the meat.
Huh.
Yeah. So what you can do is cap the bones with a little bit of tin foil, and that'll keep the microwaves away from the drumsticks, away from the wings, and they'll cook as slow as the rest of the meat.
Okay. Otherwise, that's burnt in the other way.
The other thing that you might notice about a microwave is if you're making a cup of tea. Well, this may take a while. Let me start this. Okay. You'll start a cup of tea boiling in the microwave, and then you'll take the cup out, and you'll say, "I think it's ready for tea." Mm-hmm. And then you'll say, "I think it's time to drink this because it's all boiled," and you'll put it down, and you'll notice something very interesting happen. Let me see if we've got this cooked long enough to take it out. Oh, let's cook it a little. Let's go on to something else. I'll come back to that while that cooks. Okay. What happens is the same thing that happens when you open a bottle of soda, and you pour it onto ice. Here it starts to fizz. People think it's fizzing because the soda is cold and the ice is even colder.
Right.
So the ice cubes take it out.
Right.
That's not true at all. You do not need anything cold to bring out the ice cubes. The reason why the fizz comes out is because the ice is full of little cracks and crevices. And the gas inside the soda likes to find those cracks and crevices and builds up around them and bubbles out. In fact, we have here some stale beer, which I'm going to show you. It's been sitting here for a while.
Okay.
It's not cold at all. Has no cracks and crevices. It has no ice in it.
All right.
And we can give it some cracks and crevices in the form of some salt. We can pour some salt in there and watch the head just come out. Bye-bye. Just like, you notice how this happens?
That's amazing.
When you put ice cream in soda, you want to make a root beer float.
Yeah.
You put the ice cream in top, and the root beer just bubbles out over the top.
Right.
That's the same thing that's happening here. There are little cracks and crevices in the ice cream. These are called nuclei in science parlance. And the gas bubbles inside, like those nuclei, they grasp onto them, and that's their vehicle for coming out.
I'll be darned. And so this has nothing to do with the cold. That's great. You give us another one. These are great.
Well, and this is basically the idea behind cloud seeding. I call in my book cloud seeding your drink, because a cloud in the sky is filled with saturated water vapor in the form of gas. And how do they take it out? They take some salt and they throw it in the cloud, and they hope that it bubbles out just like this comes out of the cloud, and it's the same theory behind it. Let me see what's going on with our...
Okay.
All right, we have boiling water here. Let me do this quickly.
All right. Now, what are we proving here with this boiling water?
Look at that, still boiling.
Did you see that?
You thought it was done boiling, right?
Yeah.
Now, we had the same cracks and crevices theory going on there. Because it takes more than just heat to get the gas out of the water. We sort of cloud seeded our tea. It takes those little cracks and crevices in the mesh of the tea bag. You know, it's sort of porous, and we put the tea bag in the water. We think it's done boiling.
You know, that is a party trick, Ira. That's just great. You got to do that. You make the tea, and then you take the bag and you put it in. It starts bubbling, and people will never forget you.
Well, you can be afraid. You know, you should be afraid that you think it's done, and you put your face by there. You saw how high that was boiling when it comes out.
Amazing. All right, you have another one here?
I have one more. I have an egg in which I'll demonstrate the correct way to make a hard-boiled egg. A lot of people just take the egg, they stick it in some boiling water, and what happens to the egg? It cracks.
Right.
And it gets some ugly white streamers that come out.
Yes.
Well, the first thing...
edible.
Yeah, you can't serve it to Lady Di when she shows up.
That's right.
So the first thing you should do is buy yourself a little egg piercer. It's a gadget like this, and there's a little needle right here. And the idea behind that is you take the bottom of the egg and you stick it in. You see, we've put a hole in the bottom of the egg.
Yeah, it's a little crack too.
Now,
Does it matter if it's
doesn't
cracked?
matter, because this is going to let the trapped air out when we stick it inside the boiling water.
Oh.
The water heats up the egg. Right on the bottom here is an air space, which is like the shock absorber for the egg. And what will happen if you put it in the water, that air space will expand and it will crack the egg, and all those ugly white streamers come out.
Did you put that hole in a specific side?
Yes.
I mean, this is not the pointed side, the other side.
The large rounded side, I put the hole in. And so this will keep the egg from cracking. Of course, if it does crack, the thing to do is to boil it in a little bit of water that has vinegar or lemon juice in it. Because this acts as a natural coagulant, and as the egg white seeps out of the egg, it will just close up the little crack. And
So-
so learning a little thing about chemistry, you can learn how to save those hard-boiled eggs.
So if you put the hole in the egg, it will the gunk will not boil out the hole.
That's right. No.
Really?
It will
Because
not
you have a
come-
little crack in
What will
there.
happen is the gunk, the white, will fill up the little space in there, and you get nice round hard-boiled eggs instead of the kind that have, you know, the flat bottom on them.
Ah.
So
These
know
are
a
great.
little bit about chemistry, physics, you can be a better cook.
Ira, thank you. Love these. Ira Flatow. Thank you. Really, these are just great. There's a special garage sale coming up. This is Helen Kane.
Hi, I'd like to tell you about Betchelon's first ever garage sale. And 300 families at 201 9th Avenue North in Hopkins. Previews tonight at, I don't know what time, I think it's 7 o'clock. $1 admission.
Okay.
And the telephone is 933-8525.
Well, first one. Good luck on that.
Thank you. We
Thank
need
you.
it.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
Sharon?
And I'm with Shelley Chucker, who's going to tell us about a special program for people with disabilities.
Hi, Sharon. I'm the director of the Minneapolis Rehabilitation Center, and we have a great employment opportunity for people with disabilities and or sensory impairments. We offer a one-year training program and placement program in the computer field. To date, we've placed 90% of our graduates with an average starting salary of $20,000. Yes, $20,000 a year. And we are starting our 4th class in September. So for people who are interested in a great solid start in a people-oriented field, please call us at 871-2402.
Good, thank you. Okay, good.
On tomorrow's show, we'll look at the new nightlife in the Twin Cities, also boudoir photography.
Also, some hippie fashions from the 60s. They're back.
Yes, that's all coming up tomorrow. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.
See you then. Bye-bye.